Hello everybody. As you can see, we are in the laundry room, and conveniently, as I want to record this, both the washer and the dryer are going as my dad's doing laundry. He's actually using the permanent press cycle, which is kind of interesting. You'll notice, I'm going to lift it. Yeah, he's doing a very small load because unlike me, he actually tries to not make it go off balance. Me, I don't really care, but big news today. Today is October 1st, 2022. We have officially, as of about 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon, we bought a Speed Queen. We went to Lane's Appliance, which is in Lansing, and we purchased a matching set, a Speed Queen TC5 and a dryer DC5. The dryer is electric. I actually, believe it or not, wanted to get a gas dryer, even though I'm kind of opposed to gas. I wanted to get gas because we have the hookup, and even though it's more expensive up front, it's over time it's worth it, and my dad basically said, no, let's do electric. It is going to be delivered on Friday, which would be the 6th, I want to say the 6th, and I'm actually going to be home for it, pretty much. So what we're going to do with these, the washer control panel is going to come off and we're going to sell it because it's worth money. We have another control panel from another mate that we sold for a good bit of money, and the rest of the machine they are going to haul off and scrap. The dryer, however, still has some life left in it. It still works. It's a little loud, but it dries clothes very well. So we are going to put it in the garage and throw it up on Facebook Marketplace, maybe $7,500, and see what we can get for it. And if no one takes it, we will put it at the curb. We also thought about listing it now and saying must pick up by or on Friday the 6th. Assume it's the 6th. Must pick up by then or will be scrapped. But I'd really like this dryer to go to a good home because even though it's really old, it's almost 40 years old, it still works flawlessly. We've never done anything to it. In fact, the only thing we've actually done wasn't even a repair. We went into that control panel and cut the wire that has the buzzer attached to it because as you can see, it advertises an end of cycle signal, which was helpful in our old house because it was in the basement, but now that it's right by the kitchen, we didn't want that. So we cut the wire because you can hear when it's running. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say that moving this washer to this house in November of 2020 was cursing it. I really, really think we cursed this washer. The reason I say that, my parents bought the house I grew up in on the 21st of June, 2005, about 4 months before I was born. In that time, we lived there from then until November of 2020. This washer was repaired twice in 15 years, and both of them were minor fixes. One of them my dad did. The overflow switch went out, so it would just fill and fill and fill until it filled onto the floor. That was a $10 fix. And then in January of, this was in like 2010, in like January of 2020, the inlet valve failed, and that was like a $50 fix. So in 15 years, this machine averaged one repair about every 7.5 years, 7 to 7.5 years. That's 6 solid years of flawless service. Never once broke down. Never once. This machine was bulletproof. Meanwhile, we moved the machine, and almost immediately, it had a string of breakdowns. You can search on my channel. Feel free to go back and search, and you'll find all kinds of videos of this machine getting repaired. Anything from the timer knob, these water switches, there were internal parts that we replaced. It's actually done now. There were internal parts we replaced. I honestly don't remember what all of them were. Sorry about that, my camera almost died, so I needed to grab the charger. Anyways, like I was saying, this machine within a year of moving in broke down probably 6 times. I really, really do think that moving this machine cursed it. I really do. And at the time when we moved it, my parents wanted to just buy a Speed Queen set, and I said, no, we're taking the washer. It came with this house, and we're taking it, and it's going to live on. That was a bad idea. So having it sit on pads and stuff like that. And for the record, I was going to upload the deck video today, but that has been preempted, and also, I don't have it ready yet because I'm lazy. Anyways, so believe it or not, when my parents pretty much knew, especially my dad, knew that this machine's days were numbered and that the Speed Queen was in the future. Well, I briefly told him, I said, hey, Maytag makes a washer that is commercial bill and is a hell of a lot cheaper than the Speed Queen. Check it out. So I, of course, showed him the Maytag commercial. And after doing some research and looking at reviews, we decided against it. I was mainly against it because of the videos I've seen of it. It sounds very cheap, very Chinese made. It does not sound durable at all. It sounds like wah, wah, wah when it's washing. It's also more electronically controlled. My father was more against it because he looked at the reviews on Lowe's website of the electronics failed, the transmission failed, needed to be replaced, needed to be fixed. And we basically said, even though the Speed Queen is more expensive, we know it's going to last. We know its reliability. So the only downsides I can actually think of to the Speed Queen, there's really only two downsides I can think of with this upgrade, and both of them are with the washer. The first one is kind of minor. It is the lack of a water level switch. In case you didn't know, the Speed Queen TC5 does not have a water level switch. It fills 3/4 of the way up no matter what you do, and there's a little button for deep fill which will fill it all the effing way to the top. The other little inconvenience is that unlike the Maytag, which has the lid switch, I'm plugged in so I can't move, right there, the Speed Queen's is actually on the underside of that in this cabinet. It's a very easy mod to fix, but you do have to take the front panel off to fix it. So those are the two little minor annoyances I have. But the best part about all this is Lane's Appliance is a great place. I highly recommend them. Speed Queen dealer, if you're in the Lansing area. There's 2 places. I don't remember the other one. I think it was like J&J Appliance or something. There's 2 Speed Queen dealers right near each other. Lane's is relatively new. It opened within the last year. It's a very small store. I mean, it's not super small, but it's small. I'm not sure if they do repair. I'm not sure if they sell refurbed units, but I know they sell new. I know they're a Speed Queen dealer. Pretty small store. It's probably maybe, I would say there's probably 50 units. Microwave, stoves, dishwashers, ranges, washer dryer, wall ovens. I'd say there's probably 50 things combined. They had a floor model Speed Queen out, TC series. We actually went in there, my mother and I went in there about a month or 2 ago, and they had a TR series out, and I said, we don't want this. And I had to tell my father probably 20 times because he kept forgetting. He said, which one is the one we don't want? It's the TR series. And I'm like, it's the one with the black control panel. If it has a black control panel, you don't want it. And he's like, okay, TC. Yeah. So the best part about all this is that I made 2 salesmen look very unknowledgeable. I made them look like idiots in front of a customer. So there was this little old lady who walked in, went straight to the Speed Queens with this kid, a sales guy, and she goes, well, what is the deep fill? Because I don't see a water level. I see temperature and I see the rinses, but what does it fill to? And she's probably 60. And I'm standing 5 feet away from her because the machine is here and the desk is right here. It's in the back. That's how far away it is. He goes, I think it's like how much it just senses the clothes. And then I think that deep fill, it just adds more water. And he's like, yeah, it's electronic stuff. And I pipe up and go, well, because the guy behind the desk, there were only 2 people, goes, yeah, it senses it and then it fills with how much it needs. It's computer controlled. That's when I piped up and said, that's not how it works. And everyone turned and looked at me. I said, Speed Queens don't have electronic stuff for that. I said, it fills up 3/4 of the way no matter what you do if you just leave it alone. And then that deep fill, if you want the tub to fill all the way up, you press that deep fill button and that fills it all the way up. And the dude behind the desk said, are you looking for a job? And I said, no, I'm actually happily employed down the road. He goes, if you want to, he said, you seem pretty knowledgeable. And I said, yeah, that I am, sir. And he said, if you want a job, just hit me up. And I was like, all right. So needless to say, I made 2 professionals look like, honestly, that kid had no idea what he was talking about. And I'm going to say it because this lady was nitpicking the shit out of everything, and she's like, what is this? What is this? What is this? He's like, I don't think that, there was like a plastic ring. He's like, I don't think that goes with the machine. And this lady was kind of weird because after I explained the water level thing to her, she's like, well, so do I have to go upstairs and recheck it up and down and up and down? And I'm thinking in my head, what is she talking about? I think the misconnection is she's not connecting the fact that her water level switch does the same thing. I think she thinks you have to fill it and then figure it out or something. I don't know. But it's literally the same thing as doing normal laundry. If you have a full load, hit deep fill. If you have 5 things, leave it. The saddest part is the kid was like, oh, what are you replacing? She's like, I have a Kenmore. She said, I think it's 20 years old. It might be 25. And I'm thinking, oh, it's a direct drive, isn't it? And she said the repairman just said it broke. And in my head, I'm like, I know it's the Speed Queen that she's replacing it with, but damn it, it's a direct drive going to the landfill. And it just saddened me a little. And what really got me was I had to think in my mind, what could have failed on a direct drive that the repairman said, don't fix it? Because most repairmen will tell you, hey, keep this machine going. This is a good machine. Because repairmen know direct drives are good. And I thought about the motor coupler, but that is an easy fix. Yeah, you have to tip the machine on its back, but that's an easy fix. So in my head, the only thing I could think of that failed would have been either the gear case or the transmission. That's it. I don't know what else would have failed on a direct drive. I really don't. And if you have a gear case fail or a transmission fail, it's not worth fixing. I mean, it is, but to normal people, it's not. It's like multiple hundred. It's 100 to, it's not. It's more than the machine's worth. Direct drive people chime in and tell me what else could have failed because I don't know that much about direct drives. I love them and I use them and I don't know much about them other than that they are pretty bulletproof, on par with this thing. And interestingly, my mom goes, oh yeah, we have a Maytag that's about that age. She goes, oh, well, Maytag now isn't the same. It's Whirlpool now. And I'm like, how does she know that? She must have been researching this shit. Because the kid too was like, she's like, is the Speed Queen good? It's weird because she walked in. I didn't see her walk in, but I saw her go to the Speed Queen with the kid. So my guess is she said, I need a new washer and I want the most reliable one you have. So he took her to the Speed Queen. So at least he knows that the Speed Queen is good and that it's not a GE that's sitting next to it. He's like, yeah, if you want 20 years plus, this is pretty free of electronics, pretty free of plastics, mostly metal. And I think she made the sale because we scheduled for Friday delivery. The soonest they could have gotten it out was Monday, actually, which is the day after tomorrow, the 3rd. Oh, you know what? Friday is the 7th. It just occurred to me that I think Friday is the 7th, actually. Whoopsie daisy. But anyways, I probably put an annotation in that says otherwise. Not annotation. Those haven't been around, but you know what I mean, a text. So, yeah. $2,700 down the drain, but I think it was worth it. My mom paid for the deck, my dad paid for this. We are having it delivered. We're going to have them haul all the way the washer minus the control panel, keep the dryer, we're going to sell it. And we are paying for installation. And I didn't want to, but my dad brought up a good point, and that is if something gets messed up, it's on them, not on us. And we also are canceling our washer and dryer portion of our appliance service plan with our energy company that's free. That's how we fixed this machine for free pretty much the last few times it's broken. So we're still going to have it on stove, dishwasher, fridge, and microwave, as well as the the furnace, air conditioning, hot water heater, since that's what it's mainly for, but we are canceling the washer and dryer part since Lane's has a warranty and Speed Queen has a warranty. Lane's has their own warranty, Speed Queen has their own warranty. So, yeah, it's happening, and I'm a little sad that this machine has to go, but I knew its days were numbered. I knew that its days were numbered. Its days have been numbered since probably May, and I honestly thought we were going to have a machine at Memorial Day. I really did, but it's a miracle it's gone on this long. It really has. I knew. That's the sad part, is I knew this machine's days were numbered. I knew it. One quick thing to add, we still have up here somewhere, yeah, right there, that's the 3-prong plug that was on this dryer in our old house. Well, we bought a 4-prong one from Home Depot because they have a 4-prong outlet. We're gonna take that 4-prong plug, throw it on the Speed Queen since it's 2 years old, and sell that 3-prong with this dryer, because what if someone has an old house? So yeah, this machine's days are numbered. Come this time next week, hopefully, we will have a Speed Queen. And it's gonna be, it's a little sad, I'll admit it, I'm a little sad about this, but I knew it. I knew that its days were numbered. We originally were going to keep the dryer, but then we decided, you know what, we're getting a new washer, we may as well just match them. And I've never had a set of matched, I'm not used to match, because this is the set I grew up with. So yeah, on another note, see that bottle of Persil? Yeah, that's part of the detergent hoard that I talked about in April. Remember how I said, well, in case you haven't seen the video, there's all the detergent from the video about my detergent haul. I bought that shit and started using it in April. And I said in the video, I said, you can't see that. I said, oh, well, my winter coat's in the way. I said, I estimate it's probably going to take about a year to use all of that under normal usage. Ha 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 ha. That's number 2. And it's been 6 months. This might take a little longer than a year. To be honest, this might take like 4 or 5. Hell, I'm probably going to be moved out by the time I'm done. Oh well, it'll be cool. So yeah, sound off in the comments what you think. And I really need to get more subscribers so I can monetize this and help pay for this. Yeah, thank you so much for watching as always. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see, and follow me on the web, wix.com/theelevatorworld/fans. Bye-bye and peace on the Maytag. To be honest, the last video, I made you one more final load in it, just video, but if you don't see it again, this is it. Peace.